Hi, I'm Brian Wagner from Wagner's Rose Nursery. Look, I just want to talk about a few different types of watering systems. Um, Most people would prefer to use drip irrigation, and I don't have a problem with that. I think if you can, yes, by all means. But keep in mind that drip irrigation requires maintenance, and unless they're maintained properly, you're going to run into problems with drippers. Um, Drippers will block up in time. In the commercial industry, we usually have filtration systems when we're using drip line. And I used to use a little bit of drip, but I don't anymore. Um, but if you are going to use drippers, make sure that they are maintained properly and that the buttons are clean. You can certainly lose a lot of water flow with drippers if you're going to use drippers. Now, if you do use drippers, try and have the spacing, say, every 10, 15, 20 centimetres apart, and also have your drip lines running in parallel. So if you've got a block that's, say, a few metres wide, then have 3 or 4 drip lines irrigating that whole block so the whole area is getting wet. Um, don't think that by just having a button at the base of your rose bush that is sufficient water. It might be okay spring and autumn, but when you've got extreme heat, you want to be watering the whole area because your root system can be a couple of metres long. Um, we use overhead irrigation at our property. Reason why is that it's visual. We know everything's working. We're using a large area. We're irrigating a big area. Um, but we can sort of turn the bore on and operate and get the sprinklers running. And we always check the lines and we can see that all the sprinklers are working. And we're irrigating quite a large area. Now, we would prefer to, if we're going to be overhead irrigating, water early in the morning and maybe leave that irrigation on for an hour or 2 or 3 hours, which is what we normally do. Um, and if you can switch it off by midday or when the heat kicks in or even earlier, 9, 10 o'clock, then you're not losing much through evaporation. And the nice thing about overheading is that you are watering the whole block. Everything is getting watered. Now, that may not be the right type of irrigation system for your property, but again, if you're not too sure how much water you're giving your plants, make sure that you, the following day, dig a hole next to your rose bush, but go down sort of quite deep to about spade depth. You've got to look at the bottom here, which is where your root system starts. That's the area where you've got to get the water to. There's no point in watering the top 2, 3, 4, 5 centimetres. It does absolutely nothing. You've got to get it down deep. So watering less often, but when you do water, water well. Thank you.